Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Nevena Cvjetić. I'm the Executive Director of Leadership, Professional, and Career Development here at the Graduate College. Joining me is Marlena Gatlin, the Event and Program Manager at the Grad College. And lastly, Brianna Rivera, who is a former Grad Rebel Advantage mentee and also a current Grad Rebel Advantage mentor, now that she is a graduate student. So our primary purpose for today's session is to share information about the Grad Rebel Advantage program. But before we dive into that, we're just gonna start off by chatting a little bit about grad school in general. Then we'll dive into just telling you more about the program requirements and specifics for Advantage, and then we're going to hear from Brianna a little bit, and then we're going to open it up for questions from you all that you might have about the program. So to get us started, for those of you that don't know, the Graduate College is located in the University Gateway building. That's right across the street from, like In-N-Out, between Cafe Rio and Starbucks. We're here on the second floor, so if you ever need to come see us for anything, that's where we are located. So, what is grad school? So, grad school is a advanced course of study in a specific academic field or profession. So, while you're in undergrad right now, you're soaking in a lot of knowledge about a variety of subjects. But in grad school, while you're still doing that, you're also contributing to your field of study. You get to pick one thing you really like and study it. While undergrad is a little more general, and you're just learning about a lot of different things. So many grad students continue in their undergrad field or a related one, but some students pursue something entirely different. So a lot of students don't know that you can change what you're studying while you're in grad school. So it doesn't have to be exactly aligned with what you did in undergrad. And then many grad schools offer both graduate and professional degrees. So grad degrees are focused on original research and scholarship in a specific area, while professional degrees provide advanced career training for specific professions. So think like dental school, medical school, law school, things like that for the professional degrees. So what kind of programs and degrees do grad schools offer? Well, here we have three main types of programs. We have certificate, master's on doc. Certificate programs are typically just short, tightly focused programs that are designed to teach you about a specific area or just a specific specialization. Master's degrees are more of high-level specific course of studies in a discipline. And then doctoral degrees are the highest degrees attainable in most fields, and for students that wish to attain mastery of a specific subject. So why should you consider going to grad school? There are a variety of reasons for why you might want to go. For starters, the career that you're interested in might require a grad degree. You're also going to have increased job opportunities with only 13% of people holding a grad or professional degree. You're going to be more marketable to employers, and you're also going to have a higher lifetime earnings. So the difference from a high school diploma to a bachelor's degree in earnings is $670,000, and then the difference in career earnings between a bachelor's degree and a grad degree is another additional $620,000. And then you also learn and gain transferable skills that employers look for, like research and discipline and communication. And then I just wanted to also quickly show you these two charts. The one on the left here is unemployment rate, and you can see as you obtain higher levels of degrees, your unemployment rate also decreases. And then on this other chart here on the right, as you obtain a higher level of degree, your weekly earnings increase. And then there's just a little dip here from professional for doctoral, because professional is more like, think medical school and dental school and things like those professions. And then just wanted to show you all what type of openings there are that require graduate degrees, just to kind of give you an idea of what's out there. So now we're gonna just switch it over to talk a little bit about how to be a competitive candidate for grad school. So First of all, we're just going to start off with reviewing some general graduate college admissions requirements. Now, these are super basic requirements that the grad college requires, but the specific program that you're applying to can have higher standards or additional requirements that they want. So if you're applying to grad school here at UNLV, we ask that you have a bachelor's degree from a accredited institutions, that your GPA is a 2.75 or above, or a 3.0 over the last 60 credits that you took, um, your transcripts, and then some additional factors that are determined and specific to the program that you're applying to, such as your GRE or your GMAT, your personal statement, things like that. And then there's always very specific admission standards for each of the different types of degrees. The most common aspects of grad school applications include your personal statement, your letters of recommendation, your transcripts from all the colleges you've attended, your standardized tests, and your resume. And these are all things that through the Gradable Advantage program, we help you learn how to put together and how to enhance them for when you are applying. So to prepare a competitive application, these are just some tips that we have in general. Those are to build a strong CV and resume, start getting some research experience and internships, research and apply to programs rather than schools, because you're going to be working specifically with faculty and your faculty advisor in that specific program. So you really want to make sure you learn about the specific program you're applying to rather than just the school in general, to make sure you have a good experience. We suggest you reach out to and contact faculty, your department, to learn more, ask questions, really find out if this is the right program for you before you commit to something like that. And then in terms of your personal statement, make sure you read the requirements and instructions and answer the assigned questions they ask you. Make sure you tailor your statement to each program rather than just writing one general statement and just submitting it to 10 different schools. Be very clear and concise and grammatically correct. And this is your chance to really tell your story. Out of all the materials that you submit for the application, this is the place where you can express who you are and your passion and convey what contribution you're going to make to the program and your future goals. And then lastly, meet deadlines. This one might sound like an obvious one, but this is your first impression with that program, so you want to make sure the first interaction you have with them isn't you asking for like extensions and things like that. So now that you know kind of the requirements for getting into grad school and how to be a competitive applicant, let's talk about what resources that we have here with the Gradable Advantage program. So I'm going to hand it over to Marlena to talk more about that.
So I'm going to quickly do an overview of the Gradable Advantage program, which strives to demystify grad school for you. So the Graduate Advantage program provides undergraduate students with mentorship, workshop, and professional development opportunities designed to build your knowledge about educational options after your bachelor's degree and prepare you for grad school. So as a program participant, you will engage in a variety of activities to ensure your undergraduate degree completion, prepare you to submit a competitive grad school application, and socialize you into what to expect in grad school. So we just want to highlight some of the benefits of the program. So you receive a $600 scholarship. That's $300 per semester for completing the program. You get to work on your networking skills, your CV building, opportunities for presentations, professional development activities, and more. With mentorship, you get that personal connection with a graduate student in that similar field. And then you also get a graduation cord and a completion certificate. And it's not listed here, but you also get a Gradable Advantage t-shirt. And then we just wanted to highlight that 35% of the 2018-2019 cohort actually ended up going to grad school at UNLV. So here are just a few testimonials and comments from previous participants. And I want to highlight the last one because it really speaks to the experience that an undergrad had with their assigned mentor. So just a quick snippet of what they said. Sean led by example. He taught me how to market myself as a researcher in our field. He went above and beyond to provide feedback on my written deliverables and always made the time to answer my questions. And we'll share this PowerPoint with you guys in case you want to read some of the other comments from our students. So just to quickly dive into the Gradable Advantage program experience and what you can expect once you're accepted. So first, you'll be matched with a graduate student mentor, and they'll help you guide you throughout the program. They'll also help you with your grad school application material. They'll give you advice and more. So the mentor-led small group consists of 6 to 10 students, and we matched based on academic interest, but also based on similar experiences. So being an athlete, being a veteran, and sometimes we also match on common interests, so med school, law school, um, and some other factors. So here are the program requirements, and I know it might seem like a lot, but I promise we break it up each semester, so you have 2 semesters to complete the following requirements. So you attend 4 mandatory cohort mentorship sessions, so the Gradable Advantage Kickoff. This is where you're introduced again to the program requirements, and you also meet your mentor in small group. And then next is the Gradable Advantage Commencement. This happens at the end of the program in spring, where we all come back together to celebrate completing the program. This is where you receive your t-shirt, your honors cord, and your completion certificate. And then we have the fall cohort meeting, and this happens in November, and this date is actually set by the graduate student mentor of your small group. And it's just a checkpoint. Most groups utilize this time to have their mentor review their application material, such as your CV or resume. And then in the spring cohort meeting, this happens in March, and you'll have a 3-minute presentation requirement where we ask you to make an elevator pitch on why you'd be a good candidate for grad school. And this helps you practice your public speaking and pitch yourself for any grad school interviews you might have. And then the winner of that small group presentation actually receives a grad school application waiver. And we have some of the 3-minute presentation examples available on the Gradable Advantage website. And then we have the attend 1 mandatory workshop each semester, attend 2 elective workshops each semester, attend 1 major campus research experience, attend 1 major campus cultural experience. And we'll actually show you some examples of what these workshops and experiences look like in just a bit. And then you attend 3 mandatory campus appointments. So appointment with an academic advisor, and this is something you're typically already doing each semester. Appointment with the UNLV Writing Center. So this is to work on a piece of writing. So whether it's something for a class or it's your personal statement or maybe even a publication. And then we have the appointment with the Office of Undergraduate Research to discuss how to get involved with research on campus, or as a second alternative, appointment with the Graduate College Recruitment and Admissions Team. And this is to discuss prospective grad programs and application requirements. So here are just a few examples of workshops that we've held for Gradable Advantage participants, and we also open them up to other undergraduates that also want to attend. So we have the choosing and being chosen, how to select a grad program and get them to select you. Then we have the strategies for graduate success, applying to and thriving in grad school, and then some elective workshops. So we have a GMAT one, a GRE, public speaking, general professional etiquette, and these are just some of the examples. We offer a large variety each semester. And then here are some examples of the campus research experiences and the campus cultural experiences. So we utilize OUR. So data have their own life cycle, how to write a successful abstract. And then for campus cultural experiences, we have the intersection, first gen pathways, graduate student showcase, diversity research and action forum. So as I mentioned, we leverage several departments and community partners on campus. So our co-sponsors include academic advising, financial aid and scholarships, and student engagement and diversity. And then our partners include the Office of Undergraduate Research, Academic Success Center, Center for Academic Enrichment Outreach, Graduate and Professional Student Association, the Intersection, University Libraries, UNLV Writing Center, and Career Services. So now that you know the program requirements, just to quickly go over the application process. So this program is open to current UNLV undergraduate students who are currently enrolled during their Grad Advantage year. You have to be enrolled at least one course each semester. You're in good standing with the university. You've completed 60 or more credit hours, have a minimum cumulative undergrad GPA of 2.75, and then the endorsement of a full-time faculty member or academic advisor, and then you submit a letter of interest. So the letter of interest should address the following statement, describe your short and long-term career goals, and explain why you're interested in this program. And we only ask for a one-page submission. And then the application must be submitted by July 15th, so that's this next month. And the application is completely virtual and it's available on the Grad Advantage website. And next, I will hand it back over to Nev.
Thanks, Mark. Before I move on, I just want to go back to this endorsement of a full-time faculty. So it's not a like full page recommendation you're asking for. You're just going to identify their name, and then we're going to send them a link where they just put like a few sentences endorsing and supporting your involvement in the program. So it's not, just so you know, when you're asking them, it's not like they're committing to writing like a full 1 to 2 page recommendation letter. So next, we're going to hear from Brianna Rivera. You've heard a lot from Mar and I, but we thought it would be very useful and beneficial for you to hear from somebody that's already gone through the program. So Brianna's gone through the program as a mentee. Now she's actually a mentor as well. So just to share a little bit about her, she is a master's student in the School of Public Health in epidemiology and biostatistics track. She also got her bachelor's here. And she is a first generation college student who was born and raised in Las Vegas, and her interest lies within infectious diseases here in Nevada. She's currently a Grad ambassador in addition to being a mentor and was part of the Grad Advantage program as an undergrad. But I will let her talk a little bit more about that. And then after that, we'll open it up to questions from both Mar, Brianna, and I. So, Brianna.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me? I just want to make sure. Okay, cool. I haven't had too many tech issues recently, so hopefully this isn't one of them. So now I'm gonna kind of carry over all of my information. So yeah, I was at UNLV, and then I decided to stay there because I did love the public health program. And then this Grad Rebel Advantage program, I heard about from actually one of my professors, and she reached out, and I hadn't heard about it prior. So now I try to tell everybody I know about it because it's such a great program. I really wouldn't have known a lot about my master's program or kind of what I wanted to do without it. I am a first generation college student, so family wasn't exactly the biggest help when it came to applications or kind of where to look or what to do. So it was really cool to have that experience and have that connection with somebody who just went through the process. Because I mean, it is helpful with people who've done it in the past, but to have somebody who did it just like in the last 2 years was a significant difference because graduation or application requirements changed like a lot, and to know like kind of what it was and what went through just like recently was super helpful, especially somebody in like a similar field, especially when it comes to like the GRE, and the other applications like that I had no idea about and didn't even know where to start. So it was really great to have that. And you are in a group, so you do get kind of that peer interaction as well. And hopefully now that COVID is kind of slowing down, that more of those group interactions will happen, because it did start my mentee year. And then when I was a mentor, I was a little harder because everything was online. But a lot of people like our online meetings, so that always helped and it was convenient. But being a mentor was also really cool because I didn't have really anybody else in my family to like kind of pass that information to. So it was really cool to just be like, hey, like this is what helped me, or like this is what really didn't help me, and just have a kind of a timeline as well, because that makes a huge difference. There's different types of like the testing. There's times where you can't retest after a certain amount of weeks, which like I had no idea about prior. Asking for letters of recommendation and just things like that that we don't really think about in our undergrad until we need an application again. And it's nice to have that. So I 100% recommend this to anybody. If you have questions, Nevin and Marlena is totally able to give you my email as well. And hopefully you guys are interested in this program. And if I've had people where sometimes these requirements were a little too much, and they've adjusted it with the Grad Rebel Advantage, with a lot of them being online. But it's okay if it's too much to be like, hey, I can't handle it as well. So don't ever feel like that's not an option, and they're the best to talk to. So I would highly, highly recommend it. But that was my experience. I thought it was great, and I love being a mentor after the fact and going through that as well.
Thank you so much, Brianna. So before we open up to questions, we just want to leave you with some resources. You can always visit our website or email graddoubleadvantage@unlmi.edu if you want to set up like a one-on-one meeting with us. You want to talk a little bit more thoroughly about anything. We'll be happy to chat with you. So thank you so much for joining us today.